Think we're doing all right. You're live. Okay, I'm live. I don't like this lighting. Everything has happened. Every technical difficulty that I could imagine has happened. I don't like this lighting. That's a little better. It's early. I'm looking crazy, but I was determined because yesterday YouTube was being weird to me. So I streamed on IG. I did a live stream on IG because I couldn't get in on my Facebook. This is looking crazy. Oh, we're having a light show. Hold on, because I didn't want that either. That's kind of dark, but I'm kind of feeling it, to be honest. It's early. I've been up since 5 though. Okay. Peace, loves. I don't think anyone's watching at the moment, but someone will watch at some point. Okay. Peace, loves, true 5-star, your life driver, checking in on this Lent experience. And I wanted to share this because although I'm not like heavily into the Christian faith anymore, I am walking a spiritual journey. And the attributes of Christianity that I learned and experienced are beneficial still. Not all of them, maybe, because I, being heavily involved in church and church activities with church folk, which is a good book, Church Folk. It's a book called Church Folk. Read that if you want some, entertainment. It's good. It's a good book, good story. My experiences within the church were interesting, to say the least. Not all bad, but some Christians had I not been strong in faith. I hope you guys can hear me. Nobody's with me at the moment. I don't see anybody like in the chat or anything like that. But I do see here where I can say a little something. Let me write a little something. Welcome. Let me know you're with me in the chat. Wow, I chat. It's funny. I often say that I write better than I speak. That's just what it is. It's how I'm wired, I guess. I've been writing since I was a little girl, writing about journaling. And that's not what I called it, because I guess that wasn't like trendy back then. The term journaling wasn't trendy, but that's exactly what it was. Those who remember those little black and white books, I said I wanted to have something playing, and I already have it planned out. Hopefully it won't be a commercial. Yes, there's definitely a commercial. I don't want that in my life. Here we go. Let's skip it. Because I do want a little, I don't know, theme music, if you will. I hope this lighting is okay for y'all. I'm comfortable with it. It's not too bright, not too dark. You can see me. Let me see. I can see me. Hopefully y'all can see me well enough. Excuse my scarf and my bun that's messier than ever. I just threw try to throw myself together a little bit, knowing that people are going to see me. I said, let me put it together a little bit. Now, I am late getting started. The time that I planned was 7. But you know what they say, we plan, God laughs, right? So I had difficulties that I had set myself up. I thought I was all good to go, so that when I came in, all I had to do was hit let's go, and we was getting ready to go, and that didn't happen. Everything happened from the wires tangling up on me. No joke. Okay, let me give a little background about myself. But before I do that, as I just said, I tend to write better than I verbalize, if you will. I mean, I'm pretty good. I'm a pretty clear communicator. However, being a creative mind, I'm a creator. I'm a creative, right? And writing is a big part of my creative gift, if you will. And writing became a preference for me from a young girl, as I just said. So let me share what came to me this morning when I began to ponder how am I going to address those who are tapped in with me? How am I going to address them? So, peace, loves. Grand, great, wondrous, magical, mystical, majestical rises. Divine timing and alignment. That is my energy pour onto whoever watches this. Not just today. What we know about technology and about how the world is now evolving. I was going to say forward. Well, it's definitely a forward march. We're not sure where exactly we're headed, but it's a forward march. And it's very important right now that we are tapped in to those things that I just named. Peace, love, grand, great, wondrous, magical, mystical, majestical, and arise. Divine timing and divine alignment. So it came together as a greeting, but it is also my energy share. It is a desire that I have for all that may come across this video. I would say for the world, but that doesn't really feel right to say right now. It is a true desire. However, I'd like to keep it to whoever taps in to this live. Peace, loves. Grand, great, wondrous, magical, mystical, majestical rises. Divine timing and alignments. Now, grand rise is a term that we use a lot now as opposed to good morning, because as we realize how serious this journey is, we also are giving more credence to what we say, because we are casting spells. Don't let that go over your head, and don't let that run you off. You know, when you spell a word, when you learn how to spell and speak, those two things go together, spelling and speaking. And spelling has several meanings, just like a lot of other words do, like morning, so you just want to be careful how you use your words, that how you spell. And that's a real thing. And I just hope and pray that you stick with me for a minute. Don't let that run you off. Now, I wanted to address this right quick. If you're anything like me and you prefer to sleep until you're good and ready, yet you know that there's something magical about an early rise, if you could just open your eyes, this technique may benefit you a bunch. Start with the toe crunch. I'm sharing, this is all a part of my Lent experience, because I'm leading up to some things that occurred to me or or were downloaded to me throughout this Lent experience. This technique may benefit you a bunch. Start with the toe crunch. Give God thanks and claim a wonderful day. This came to me just this morning because I have always been, as long as I can remember, the type to want to just, well, first of all, usually stay up late and then have a hard time waking up early. But as time went on, as I matured and as I got deeper into this spiritual journey, I began to realize how important it is to be awakened, to arise early. It's important. And then as the message hit of how important it is, certain conscious beings and elders solidified the point, confirmed the message for me. Namely Dick Gregory. Excuse me, I'm just checking myself out because it's like I said, I'm not used to, first of all, addressing strangers. I don't know who might be watching this. I'm way out of my comfort zone, so bear with me, okay? If I do things that are not camera proper, then just bear with me and forgive me. An early rise is important. Baba Dick Gregory made it clearer than anyone else for me. He put it like we should be meeting the sun. We should beat the sun rising. Because there's such a magical time and a magical occurrence about the sun rising daily to offer us solar power for our fruits and vegetables and our own vitamins. The sun provides us something that I think we sometimes take for granted. And because of that, because of the power of the sun, we should be greeting the sun daily. And that hit different for me. That's when I really began to put in the work to start the journey of an early rise. It doesn't always happen. And I'm not going to sit here and lie and pretend like it does. I go by true 5 stars. So I stay true to myself. Most importantly, I stay true to me. So I'm not going to sit here and lie like, now every morning I'm up before the sun, because that's not the truth. However, those mornings, which is mostly, right? Mostly those beginnings, those grand beginnings, right? Those grand rises when I do meet the sun or beat the sun. That's even better. There's a mysticism. Try it if you don't already do it. Try it, and as opposed to just getting up and going or grabbing your phone or starting your coffee or whatever you do in the morning, do something magical like journaling. That's magical. Get your thoughts out on paper. Stretching. You'd be surprised at how magical a good stretch is. Even better if you have somebody to join you. Y'all stretch each other out. That was a tad bit inappropriate maybe because of what I meant when I said it, but it is what it is. I have to be myself. If I can't be myself, excuse yourself, pardon yourself out of this, because I'm going to be me. And sometimes you never know what I might say. Okay. A good stretch, journaling. meditating, which is a big part of why I'm sharing my Lent experience, because I got the best download about meditation. Meditation is not easy to come by. And those who do it hopefully will admit and maybe weigh in and say something about how not easy it is. You can really want it. You can really like put forth the effort, and you can get turned around real quick because of the what I call thought clouds. Thought clouds. And I'm going to go into what that technique is that was downloaded as I was one day really struggling to get to that place. It's a climb. Meditation is a place that is worth the climb to get to. I'll go into that. I definitely will. That's a big part of why I'm sharing my Lent experience. That's one major point of why I'm sharing this, because I want those who genuinely desire that place of peace that meditation offers, but may have a hard time getting there. I got something for you. Okay. Upon awakening in the early rise, what helps is toe crunches. And it might sound silly because it rhymes, but that's kind of, I think in rhymes a lot. So it is what it is. This technique may benefit you a bunch. Start with the toe crunch. Simply crunching your toe, do a few reps with your toes. Give God thanks and claim a wonderful day. Right? Okay, then then allow your ankles to rotate 5 times. Now you're fully awake. So after your toe crunches, ankle rotations 5 times, now you're fully awake. Okay, so let me read it again. Now then, allow your ankles to rotate 5 times. You're fully awake by now. Why? Blood flow. What's next? Water flow. So a lot of times, because the reason why, rather, it is somewhat of a challenge to like shake out of that sleep state is because of the relaxation state. Once you get that blood flowing and starting from the toes is a good way to start. Trust me. That's something that I found when initially trying the whole early rise process, trying to like, okay, I want to do this, but I'm so sleepy. I'm still so just want to sleep, right? Start them toe crunch reps, and then move to the ankle rotation. And by then you'll feel like, okay, I'm good. A practice that I have adopted for like a few years now. It's been a few years. The first thing I do when my feet hit the floor is I grab my water. Now that's if you don't have to run to the bathroom. Whatever, that's your business. But make sure you get that water in. So you want water flow in the morning, not just releasing, but water intake, right? So blood flow, what's next? Water flow, drink it, release it, prepare to sit there where you can begin your climb. Any peaceful place you can find. Now, the climb, when I reference the climb, I'm meaning meditation, because it is a climb. It's a climb through the flights of your mind. That's what meditation is, And I like went through a whole process. I like to say downloaded to me, right? Of how to get there, if you've ever reached that peaceful place that meditation offers, it's a place that you definitely want to return to. And if you have not ever experienced that, people have said to me, I want to meditate. I try, but all I do is sit there and think. And I can so relate to that. Even now. And I've been attempting this for at least like 7 years. I could say at least 7 years is when I started becoming interested. And what is this thing? This meditation, it really began to make its rise into our consciousness on a wide scale, like not just in secret pockets. Meditation has been around for ages. However, as we as a society become more awakened to different aspects of things, higher consciousness and things like meditation made its way on the large scale of things. I was going to say 7 years ago. For me, it was 7 years ago. It's been happening before then. Like I can remember Oprah having people on talking about really deep stuff like The Secret, and I was interested in that alchemic process then, how to manifest and things like that. And I have been manifesting for a very long time. I just didn't realize really what I was doing. I've been manifesting good and bad aspects of this journey. Now, fast forward to today. I've been a Christian. I've been heavy in the church. As a young person, I was in Jersey, so I was privy to different types of walks and faiths and things. Today, I'm on my spiritual journey, my healing journey like never before. Like never before. And I'm thankful that Spirit called me out to share my experiences, because I have had the most interesting guidance. I call it my divine guides. The Creator assigned divine guides to my life. And me being who I am, it took some time for me to cultivate the discipline. I'm going to come in a little closer now. It took time for me to cultivate the discipline to listen to my divine guides. Especially when people don't necessarily understand your walk or agree with your walk or can relate to these divine guides, And I get that. Like people have really questioned my moves, Like you doing what? You're going to do what? You're going where? You what? You did that, The more the more tapped in you get to Spirit, the more downloads and directions you get. Now, you may find yourself like me, having to really cultivate discipline to listen and move when Spirit says move. But once the trust is built, once you start taking those directions from your divine guides and you realize like, oh, I'm glad I did go that direction. Or I see why Spirit led me in that, to that person or to that thing or to that place. It builds trust. And then you should have no more questions. When Spirit gives you a marching order, if you will, start moving. If Spirit gives you a still order, be still. I've had the most interesting directives. Some may not agree because, unfortunately, we have been programmed to matrix, to some is religion, just all kinds of things. We've been programmed. But this is a time to unlearn some things, tap into Spirit, and allow your journey to be new according to what you are learning. It's important, though, to make sure you're tapped in on a high vibration. That's very important. Because if you are taking directives from low vibrational guides, then you're going to find yourself in trouble. So, my Lent experience this year was different than any other. Initially, I participated in Lent from church. My pastor, encouraged us. He taught on it. A lot of pastors don't teach anymore. My pastor taught about the journey that Jesus was on during the time of the 40 days and 40 nights of resisting temptation. And that's the bottom line of what it really is about. Resisting temptation. Now, the story, as allegorical as it is and beautiful as it is, if you take it and apply the context to your life, it can really make wondrous differences. Now, I don't mean to make it sound easy. It ain't easy, but it ain't impossible. Because when you deny your flesh is when the fight begins, the battle begins. Now, whatever fleshly thing that is, it could be shopping, it could be gambling, it could be lying, gossiping, it could be food, it could be sex. Whatever that temptation is that tends to take you over, that's the temptation that you want to go to war with. And it doesn't just have to be during Lent. This is my Lent experience. I'm sharing it as the countdown goes on, because the Lent season, if you will, is over Easter Sunday. So April 6th, which I'm pretty sure that's April 6th. April 6th, which is also a full moon. All these things tie in. As above, so below. And it is that deep. But I just wanted to share that part. I will be back tomorrow, hopefully on time with less difficulty. And I want to go on and share more as far as what I chose to go to war with. I don't know how many details I'll share. I may do that in a different forum because it's deep what I chose. It wasn't food this time. That was early on. I went to war with food. Now that's less of a fight because I eat one meal a day now and blah, blah, blah. I'll talk more about that again at another time. But I wanted to plant that seed And it's not too late to participate, because this practice needs to go past Lent season. Make it the norm for yourself, that you fight your flesh by resisting temptation, and watch how your spirit connection, your tap in grows. If you've been wondering, what is this tap in? What are they talking about? Tap in to spirit. If you're one of those people that wonder, what does that really mean? I get it. People have said that to me. Like, what they mean by tap in? How you tap in? People have said that to me. And I appreciate that question when people ask me that, because I know spirit is sending them to me to ask me, and I got something for them. I love when stuff like that happens. When spirit sends me people with certain questions that I know spirit wants me to answer on their behalf, I love that shit. Excuse my language. I love it. It makes life all the more sweet. It makes life worth the living. Those divine alignments, I love it. I live for it. So if you're here listening to me and you've made it to this point of this video, then that's divine alignment. Trust me. And take this little bit. If you don't take nothing else, take this little bit that I say to you. Tap in by resisting a temptation that you know deep down you've been needing to wrestle with. Get to wrestling with it. Set a date for yourself. Okay, I'm going to start this day and I'm going to do 3 days, or I'm going to do 7 days. Better yet, make your way to 21 days, then to 40 days of wrestling and resisting and sticking to it. It ain't easy, but it ain't impossible. And you may lose a round or two within the fight, but you keep fighting and you're going to win. Trust me. Keep on setting those dates, showing up for yourself, put in the work, and call on your spiritual guides to be in your corner as you wrestle your flesh. It really is a spirit versus flesh wrestle. That's just what it is. That's kind of what we're here to do, is have that out with ourselves, because that whole know thyself statement is life. That's what we're here to do, is win. Go to war and win. Do it with a good spirit. Be happy. Be thankful that you're here to experience all of it. And it ain't all pretty. I've had my share. I've had enough share of experiences to know God is real. You know, I made it through some things to still sit here and smile and talk about there is a higher power. I've questioned it along the way. However, I'm thankful. I give huge gratitude for this journey, and for whoever is listening. Tap in with me. And I am True 5-Star Your Life Driver. I can help you navigate, because I've had to find my way out of some sticky situations. Some that I got myself in, you know. I've had to fight my way out of a bag or two. I've had to pray my way out of some mind schisms that I found myself in. I've had to heal through broken relationships, of the worst kind. And when I say that, I mean some people you just don't expect to have to depart from. And that takes, you know, some fight. You gotta have a little fight. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Especially when you are a warrior on behalf of yourself and balancing that with love, not just for yourself, but for others. You're going to find that path very interesting. Anyway, I digress. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe. I'm building my platform. There's more on that. Look through my videos. Check out, you know, what I'm doing. I give details as far as what this whole journey has been. How I ended up here at Trucking That Ass, which is A.Z.Z for abundance of zigs and zags. I am a driver. I'm a truck driver. I'm also a life driver. So once I got to the point where I was needing to be more than a rider, I realized I need to be driving this life because I was just riding, just kind of, you know, going with the flow, blowing in the wind a little bit. That's just that's the honest to God truth. And I realized, hold on, let me start driving this life. You know, my spirit guides, my divine guides are my co-drivers. They're telling me which way to go, but I'm driving. I'm no longer just riding. And I want to pass that on. That's a message. That was a message, a download that I got that I was like, okay, I should have did this a long time ago, but it's okay. I like this. It's okay. I'm learning as I go, and I will be back tomorrow with a little bit more. Peace, loves.